Okay, hi everyone. Thank you very much for watching or listening today. And Liam Archer here. Just wanted to share a quick motivational tip with you that might help you in your life to become a happier, healthier, and more fulfilled version of yourself. And basically, today's topic, I just wanted to talk to you about the power of inner growth. Because the power of inner growth, we grow through time. And this is something I've learned from working with some very, very, very successful people. And as I always say, I don't mean just successful in terms of fame, money, and all that stuff, but I mean successful in life, happy, healthy, and fulfilled people who are living their dream life. And basically, the power of inner growth is one of those things where we live in an era where people are very outward focused. We live in an era where people are very focused on how they look, how many followers they have, what people think of them on the outside. There's a lot of fake stuff, there's a lot of fake tans, fake teeth, fake boobs, fake this, fake that. And I'm not knocking the fact that people can do a little bit of work on themselves and tidy yourself up. I mean, if you don't like something about yourself, your teeth or your tan or whatever, it's cool. But I think these days people have taken it really far with like an outer appearance and that you've got to grow on the inside. And people are so busy, making a life that looks good on the outside, they forget to make a life that feels good on the inside. And at the end of the day, that is what life is all about. I mean, we are living day to day, and our day to day experience is who we are moment by moment, and we want that to be a happy experience. And we live in an era now where people think of other people's feelings, other people's opinions, in many cases, before their own. And like I say, I'm not knocking working on yourself, but think about it like this, I mean, it's a great example with women and with body improvements, but at the same time, it applies to men, it applies to everybody. Is if people woke up tomorrow, everybody in the world liked their bodies, liked the way they looked, liked the way they felt about themselves. Imagine how many companies would go out of business, totally be finished, done, dusted, whatever. And because in a lot of ways, the consumerist culture that we live in is driving people wanting to be perfect, people wanting to be a certain way. But true happiness only comes from working on ourselves inside, working on feeling worthy, feeling good enough. Self-love is a massive topic. Realizing that if you succeed, if you fail, whatever happens, the right people are going to love you for you no matter what. But true happiness and true resilience to life's challenges only comes from inner growth. At the end of the day, like when I work with a lot of champions, I mean, there's bound to be some fighters watching this. People can't get to a world title level, a European title level, a high title level if they are exactly the same as they were when they started their career. And I don't mean just learning a few new punches or a few new moves. I mean growing your mind, growing your body, feeling worthy, visualizing, understanding your strengths, understanding your weaknesses, self-awareness, digging deep into yourself and getting to the bottom of why you do some of the things you do in the first place. Figuring out your habits, figuring out what serves you. I mean, there's so many things. And this is part of the reason I share inspirational videos, inspirational topics. Please check out my channel, Simply Inspired, for more inspirational videos, inspirational topics. We're on over 360, 100,000 global views now and listens and growing every day. Great to have you there. Obviously, follow me on social media at Liam Harshri, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the good stuff. But the point is inner growth. I've used this example before, but when people win the lottery, people win the lottery, people win $1 million, £1 million, whatever it is. People catch up with them, say 5 years later, 10 years later, they've blown all their money. Why? Because they haven't grown inside to be the right type of person to handle that amount of money. So many people try in life to do things, what I would say in reverse. They try and do something, achieve something on the outside. If I have this many followers, I'll be happy. If I'm seen with this famous person, I'll be happy. If I get the right relationship, I'll be happy. But what you have to realize is you have to be happy, fulfilled, content with yourself first. You have to be enough for yourself first. Otherwise, nothing that you can achieve on the outside will satisfy that emptiness. And when I say this, I'm not saying not to, I mean, chase the dreams, chase the goals, do what makes you happy and be your authentic self, obviously. But at the same time, what you'll find is and I found this in my own life, when you have worked on yourself inside, when you've become more of a whole person, more of a complete individual, and I'm still working on it. I mean, it's a work in progress. So are most of the people, the really famous people I spend time with, they're still working on it, but they've got to a point where they feel worthy, where they feel content with themselves, where they feel enough without the accolades, without the achievements. And what you'll find, and I found this in my own life, when you feel enough without it, when you feel worthy, um, it doubles, it triples, it quadruples. I mean, I have had this in my own life where I've been chasing things, I'm going to photograph Tyson Fury or Floyd Mayweather or do this or do that. And you think that from taking it from the outside and getting that accolade, you think, oh, I'm going to be more. What you realize, the more you feel more inside, the more those things come to you, the more you feel deserving of those things, the more things you attract into your life. And that does work, but not the way people think. The more your life becomes what you want it to be by being the person that you need to be. You have to set a goal that's big enough that you have to grow, stretch, and become more than you were before to achieve that goal. We're different people now than we were 5 years ago, and we'll be a different person in 5 years' time. And the person we are today will, in some ways, be gone because we will have grown, we will have evolved, we will have moved on. And this applies to success, and I mean success in the true sense, because as I always say, success is different for different people. Some people it's a happy family, some people it's more money, some people it's better mental health, some people it's spiritual enlightenment, some people it's being famous. It's different things. Some people it's helping others. But the importance of inner growth in our era is overlooked, especially with social media. And I'm not knocking social media. It brings everybody together. It can bring us to people around the world. I mean, it's how you're listening to me right now. I'm not knocking it, but at the same time, it does cause people to compare. And a lot of the comparisons are false. I mean, social media, you don't know what's going on behind another person. You're comparing your real life to somebody else's highlight reel. People only post on social media what they want you to see. And oftentimes it's a false indicator of that person's life. I know people who are quiet, introverted people, but they look like on social media, they go out to parties. Years and years ago, I used to work in nightclubs. One of the things I used to see, people come into a nightclub, sit down at the table, order their drinks, and then just be on their phone, just be scrolling on their phone all evening long, just like this, blah, 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 blah. But then the next day, I'd wake up and I'd see posts from those same people of like toasting drinks, being on the dance floor, whatever, when really in reality they didn't have a good night. They were just sat there all night scrolling on their phone. But you look at their Instagram reel, you look at their Facebook reel the next day, and it looks like they've blown the roof off the place when it was nothing of the sort. They might have stood on a dance floor for 2 minutes, taken a couple of selfies, gone and sat down. It's a false indicator. I've even had it in my own life where I've been going through a rough patch. We all go through rough patches where we're a bit down, where we have issues going on in family, where we have, all different types of stuff. And if you don't post about it and you just carry on, and I was still going along, doing weddings, doing boxing shows, doing everything that I do with my photography business, my multimedia business and everything like that. Nobody was any the wiser. I was posting photos, carrying on, felt terrible, but everybody just carried on. So unless you talk about it, people don't know. And that was just a time in my life that's passed now, thankfully, but we've all been through it. And what I'm trying to say is that the social media is a false indicator because it's a person's outward projection of themselves. It's a person's exterior, whereas real life is all about people's interior. And the more you get in touch with your own heart, your own soul, your own mind, and understanding what you really want, who you are authentically, what gets you up in the morning, what you're passionate about, and what you really want to do, not in this sort of hedonistic or you only live once and all that stuff that people throw around these days, but in the true sense of what lights your soul on fire. The more you understand what that really is and not other people's expectations of you should do this, you should do that, you should do the other thing, the more awake you really become to who you really are, and the more you can follow the path of whatever it is that lights your fire. And it doesn't have to be being rich or famous. It could be something totally different. It could be helping people. It could be having your own business. It could be working in a particular industry sector. You might want to be into medicine. You might want to be into fitness. You might want to be into creativity, it doesn't matter. If that's what authentically lights your fire, you have to get in touch with it, find it, and use it. But all the time, people are focusing on the outside of what they look like and all these false things. They're not working on the inside. You can do both. You can definitely do both, but you have to work on the inside as well. That's where we grow, and that's where life really happens. So I know this one's been a little bit deep, but I just felt it's a really important topic. Thank you all for watching. Like I said before, please subscribe to the Simply Inspired channel for more content like this, or follow me. Also, anyone who wants to know more, please DM me, get in touch one way or another. I'm not hard to find. Thank you very much for watching, and best wishes to all of you.